he is in my heart, had not the adoption been blocked by that Marcus Antonius, who dreams that he will succeed me, and who maneuvers among my enemies as slyly as an elephant might lumber through the temple of the Vestal Virgins. Your Gaius stands at my right hand, but if he is to remain safely there and take on my powers, he must have the chance to learn my strengths. He cannot do this in Rome, for I have left the most important of those strengths in Macedonia, my legions, which next summer Gaius and I will lead against the Parthians or the Germans, and which we may also need against the treasons that rise out of Rome. By the way, how is Marcius Philippus, whom you are pleased to call your husband? He is so much a fool that I almost cherish him. Certainly I am grateful to him, for were he not so busily engaged in playing the fop in Rome, and so amateurishly plotting against me with his friend Cicero, he might play at being stepfather to your son. At least your late husband, however undistinguished his own family, had the good sense to father a son and to find advancement in the Julian name. Now your present husband plots against me, and would destroy that name which is the only advantage over the world that he possesses. Yet I wish all my enemies were so inept. I should admire them less, but I would be safer. I have asked Gaius to take with him to Apollonia 2 friends who fought with us in Spain, and who return with him now to Rome, Marcus Vipsanius Agrippa and Quintus Salvidienus Rufus, both of whom you know, and another whom you do not know, one Gaius Silnius Maecenas. Your husband will know at once that the latter is of an old Etruscan line, with some tinge of royalty. That should please him, if nothing else about this does. You will observe, my dear Attia, that at the beginning of this letter your uncle made it appear that you had a choice about the future of your son. Now Caesar must make it clear that you do not. I shall return to Rome within the month, and as you may have heard rumored, I shall return as dictator for life, by a decree of the Senate that has not yet been made. I have therefore the power to appoint a commander of cavalry, who will be second in power only to me. This I have done, and as you may have surmised, it is your son whom I have appointed. The fact is accomplished, and it will not be changed. Thus, if either you or your husband should intervene, there will be upon your house a public wrath of such weight that beside it my private scandals will seem no heavier than a mouse. I trust that your summer at Puteoli was a pleasant one, and that you are now back in the city for the season. Restless as I am, I long for Italy now. Perhaps when I return, and after my business is done in Rome, we may spend a few quiet days at Tivoli. You may even bring your husband. And Cicero, if he will come. Despite what I say, I am really very fond of them both, as I am, of course, of you. Book 1. Chapter 1. 1. The Memoirs of Marcus Agrippa. Fragments. 13 B.C. I was with him at Actium when the sword struck fire from metal, and the blood of soldiers was awash on deck, and stained the blue Ionian sea. And the javelin whistled in the air, and the burning hulls hissed upon the water, and the day was loud with the screams of men whose flesh roasted in the armor they could not fling off. And earlier I was with him at Mutina, where that same Marcus Antonius overran our camp, and the sword was thrust into the empty bed where Caesar Augustus had lain, and where we persevered and earned the first power that was to give us the world. And at Philippi, where he travelled so ill he could not stand, and yet made himself to be carried among his troops in a litter, and came near death again by the murderer of his father, and where he fought until the murderers of the